What type of foreign woman do Korean guys like? One of my Korean ex-girlfriend, one day she goes to me like that. It's more than half of my face. She even left the trash in the car. So I've been single for so long. I watch a lot of couples. I'm a creep. I stare at couple. I think most of you already are that person. Welcome back. Welcome back to our podcast. I got a lot of questions from the comment section. And one of the questions that caught my eyes was, what type of foreign woman do Korean guys like? We don't like comparing people. It's not nice. But in order to answer this question a bit more clearly, we will have to make some comparison between local Korean girls and non-local Korean girls, aka foreign girls. I don't really like the term foreign girls, but anyway, we will use that term. And Korean girls are great, actually. As I said many times in old videos, I still don't have a preferences. Korean girls are actually also very great, and all those requirements they make from their boyfriends, it's quite a lot. But once you fulfill these requirements for your girl and you become couple, Korean girls can be great girlfriends as well. Some of them would, because they want to pick the best man. That's the thing. And once they pick the best man, which is you, then she will do everything for you. And she can be very devoted, and she can be very caring as well. It's just that it's difficult to meet them, for me anyway. As I mentioned many times before, I still don't have a preferences between Korean girls and non-Korean girls, because although it's difficult to date them, once you date them, they can be very nice.
사실 그 여자들이 어쩔 수 없이 까다롭게 구는 이유는 그 한국의 사회에서도 남자들이 많은 문제를 일으키고 그건 좀 심각한 범죄나 이런 경우가 좀 많잖아요. 여자들은 좀 더 조심할 수밖에 없는 건 사실인 것 같아요. 어떻게 생각하세요?
David came up with a very good point. I think a lot of Korean girls are very picky. They make a lot of requirements for men because, but the bottom line is usually it's mostly men who cause the problem in relationships, like stalking and harassing and abuse and all that. So I also feel for them, although sometimes I feel like they make too much of requirements, and it makes me feel difficult to date them and start a relationship or asking them out. But I also understand that where they're coming from. Korean boyfriends can be quite nasty sometimes, so they want to be careful. So that's that. Let's make it very clear. We don't mean that Korean girls are bad. There's a reason behind all these requirements. It's also, David mentioned that one of the reasons why I keep saying that foreign girls should be very careful when it comes to dating Korean men. All these problems are usually caused by men, and they can be brutal to their ex-girlfriends. They can be possessive. They can be abusive. And I really don't want to see that kind of stuff on the news. So you can't be too careful, and which is why Korean girls tend to be very picky. So we cannot just hate the fact that they are picky. We have to understand where they're coming from. And I think I do. But again, we're going to make some comparison. And also because I had a lot of good luck with foreign girls. Some Korean girls might watch this video and feel a little bit uncomfortable, or might even offended. But we don't mean like that. But we have to kind of make the comparison. Yeah. Let's just start now. Let's go. The first one. Okay. From my experience, I've never really got any compliments from my local girlfriends. Whereas a lot of you said a lot of good things about me. And this channel, even including David, we are very, very happy. We are overjoyed with all these compliments. How many compliments we read from our old videos? It's way more than all the compliments I got in past 10 years. I don't know, it's a cultural thing maybe, but none of my girlfriends told me I was handsome, which I read like 5 times, more than 5 times in past videos. Even my family never told me I was good looking. Never. And someone told me I was honest, and someone told me I seem like I have a good heart. None of things I never heard in past few years from any Korean person. Not just my exes, but from my family, none of my friends. We are not really good at giving compliments. I wish we did give out more compliments to people. But looking back, my past relationships with non-Korean girls, they always told me that I was good looking, I was well dressed, and they said like a thank you after paying for the meal, because they always said thank you after me paying for the meal. I always wanted to pay for more for my non-Korean exes, foreign girlfriends, and one of my Korean ex-girlfriend, she like we were having a coffee, yeah, and one day she goes to me like that, my face. You are very handsome up to this hand, and the rest, it's like, what am I missing here? Why are you saying all this? Like we're having a good coffee, and she was like, "You're very handsome up to here. It's more than half of my face. you got to be quite awful when when your half of your face is covered and ugly. That's quite difficult." And she goes, "Up to here, you're quite okay." That was terrible. And also, one of my exes, Korean girlfriend, she said my voice is just awful, and she goes, "You're actually quite nice. Like I like your look, I like what you do, and all that, but your voice is very awful. Like I don't understand why your voice is not deep enough." It's like, I don't know. Like how do I know why I sound like this? Like I don't understand. But things like that, they always made a lot of comments about me, but never compliments. Never. I don't recall anybody saying that even my artwork was good. I mean, they don't have to say it, but they could say they liked it. They don't have to like it, but I don't know. Like my last ex, she made zero comments about my artwork because she thought it was my hobby still. Yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. She sounded just like my father. He goes, "Son, you know your drawing is a hobby, right?" It's like, "No, it's not. How much are you making out of all this?" It's like, "This much." Then it's a hobby. And my ex didn't talk like him, but basically she was saying the same thing because she was the one who asked me to get 9 to 5 job because me doing art and doing other side jobs to support myself, she thought it was my hobby. So me going back to 9 to 5 and making my artwork as a real hobby, she figured it doesn't make any difference, like as my life, like because my life, I still do a lot of work to support myself, and rest of the time I focus on my art. So she was like, if you're going to like do all this work and so much work to support yourself and make your time for art, why don't you get like 9 to 5 and be more stable? And on weekends you can draw as much as you can. But that's not the point, right? Like the point is that my heart wants to do art. So even if I get 9 to 5, I wouldn't be able to focus like during the working hours, and it's actually really bad for my employer because I cannot focus, right? And also, even when I got like a big project from corporates, like a collaboration or advertisement, like a big project, my exes were like, they were never impressed. They were never impressed. I think it's about cash, because when I did like advertisement with Hyundai, right? They give you like few millions, like instant cash. That's great. I was very happy. I was honored and very chuffed, proud of myself. In order to get that approval from my girlfriend/wife, that should happen like every week, because then it's constant cash, it's constant income for you. Then she goes, "Oh, okay, that's your job." But for me, being an artist is a dream itself, right? It doesn't matter how often I get the project. It doesn't matter how often I sell my drawings, how often I hold my exhibition. It has nothing to do with it. Like the art being center of my life, it has meaning of itself. But none of my exes approved it. they always thought it was some kind of side gig and something that I can always put aside. I don't need approval from anybody that I'm an artist and this is the value that I really want to pursue. But people telling me that it's my hobby is very insulting. Like I get offended. You're not my father. My father doing that, I understand that. He still does it. He still calls my artwork a hobby. But he's from different generations, so I kind of get that as well. But my girlfriend, I think they would rather wanting to leave me because my job was unstable. I never had a proper relationship with the foreign girls after I decided to pursue my career as an artist. But I had the flings, right? I had a few dates, and they always told me that, oh, you're amazing. You'll be someone in the future. It doesn't matter if I will be someone in the future, but by the fact that they're saying that to me is amazing. Like I was very happy, and it costs nothing to compliment, right? It costs nothing to show love. But the thing is, okay, I'm guilty of not giving my Korean exes a lot of compliments either, because like giving and receiving compliments, the whole thing was not really a thing between us, right? But it's funny because when I was dating a foreign girlfriend, she was saying all these nice things. I always said nice things to her as well. So I think it's a cultural difference. And again, foreign girlfriends, they never said anything negative about my parents. Like up to here, you're handsome. So what the hell? Yeah, I think compliments is important because just like how I felt like I really want to buy more meals for my foreign girlfriend because she always said thank you every time I pay for it. And she was like, you should let me pay next time. And you always pay. And also before becoming a couple, this girl asked me like, when are you going to let me pay? These nice things. But sometimes some Korean girlfriends don't even say thank you. And some Korean girlfriends, I know for a fact, they just wait outside once you're done. Because it takes time to pay, right? You get your things, and you stand up and go to the cashier, and all these things that take time, like 1 or 2 minutes. And during the time, they just walk outside and wait for me, and we just keep walking after making the payment, as if they're my kids. But again, kids, they also should say thank you, right, to their parents. I have experienced that, and I was like, it would have been much nicer if they said something like thank you for the meal. Some Korean girls do say, but there are some who never said it. Among my foreign exes, none of them missed one time saying thank you for dinner. It's very nice. Then I always wanted to buy them more. Just like compliments, like they always say nice things, and I always wanted to say nice things. Like when we go on a date, we meet in a town, wherever it is, and she goes, "Oh, you're looking very nice today," right? I never heard that from any Korean girlfriends. I think it's a cultural thing, rather than Korean girls are bad, but it's not really a thing because I never said that anything like that to them either. Yeah.
And we have to say that it's not only for the first meal.
Oh,
every meal.
right. I wanted to make because reading all these comments in previous videos, like like on the first date, blind date, and all that, like guys should pay, it should be 50-50. I read all that, right? In Korean dating market, it's not only the first meal. We usually just can pay. we kind of always pay for dinner. So we talked about motel thing, right? The motel culture we have. Okay, so boys usually pay for lunch, and girls do buy coffee, maybe takeout, and with that takeout, we go to motel, and I pay for the motel, and we come out, and I pay for dinner before saying goodbye. So let's make that very clear. It's not only first date. Usually boys pay for the meal and girls pay for the coffee.
I give her a light and then she
Oh.
never
Okay.
told me thank you.
Not all of my Korean exes, but some of my exes never say thank you for the ride. Because if you have a car, you take your girl home and never. One of my okay, so one of my exes, I had to pick her up every Saturday afternoon to wherever we have date, whether it's my home, whether it's a restaurant. I always had to pick her up in front of her house. As I mentioned in volunteer video, Saturday traffic is quite bad. I hate driving city on Saturdays. I really don't like it, and I always had to. Like sometimes we have a date in my house. From my house, I drive an hour to get her, and drive back, and that's like 2.5 hours. By train, it's like 30 minutes. And I still had to do that. She never said, "Oh, thank you for driving." When we had a meeting today, one of the exes of this guy, she even left the trash in the car,
She didn't even remember this.
and she doesn't remember. She doesn't remember. She leaves the trash in the car, assuming that her boyfriend is gonna clean that up. I don't know. Like, isn't it common sense that she goes home and take care of the trash? It's easier because you leave the trash in the car, you have to pick them up and throw them away again. But apparently she did that like every time, and he got really sick of it. Rather than the trash itself, it was more of an attitude, right? She got so comfortable and she took it for granted, and it's like my dad's car. Our parents, we always take care of everything, right? And she did that, and this dude was like, "Oh my god, like what is this?" There's something wrong with it. I think at that stage there's something wrong with in the relationship, and you gotta fix it, right? One of the biggest difference I feel between my Korean exes and the foreign exes is cuddling. My Korean exes, none of them wanted to cuddle. We would make love. Like sometimes it's very good, passionate love. We're done. They don't really into cuddling. Maybe for a bit, then we're done, right? There are a couple who are like hugging at the bus stop, but I don't know. Like from my experience, in the beginning of relationship, I don't imagine them doing that. In 3 years, 4 years, I don't see them doing that. Like cuddling in general, like I don't know. Don't you think?
야, 맞네요.
그죠?
초반에만.
New couples they do that, like they do hug at the bus stop. They're usually brand new. Usually, from my experience as well, they would hug you, but after 6 months, they don't really hug anymore. If a man and a woman walking together, holding hands, we say that they are a married couple, because married couple means that they've been together for long and they don't have any physical contact, including cuddling, obviously. That happened a lot to me with my Korean exes. Like, for example, I had this ex during the COVID time. Even during the COVID, we never cuddled, never made love. It's so disconnected physically, emotionally as well, which is why I broke up. It was not just emotional disconnectedness, but physically as well. Like, because COVID, we were trapped. We would watch a lot of movie. I would watch movie on the floor, lying down, and she would watch the movie on sofa. One thing I still don't understand is she watches the movie with watching the reels from IG. I don't get it. But anyway, so we do that, right? And like I often ask her to like lie down with me, and she said no. Yeah, it's very weird. It's completely opposite to foreign girlfriends. Like they always ask me to like come near me, like sit next to me or lie next to me. Whatever we do, not just making love or getting intimate, but just like being in the same space. Foreign girlfriends, they always wanted to cuddle and be close together. And this really weird thing I see. David hasn't seen that many, but I see what I see all the time whenever I go out to the cafe, restaurant, and all that. I think it's not only Korean thing, but Couples sitting opposite to each other, front of each other in a coffee shop, and doing whatever they're doing, and not talking. Like a lot of vlogs I shot in the past, I'm in the restaurant, right? And I see couples, because I watch couples, because I've been single for so long. I watch a lot of couples. I'm a creep. I stare at couple. I observe a lot, actually, without making it so obvious. With my slanted eyes, they can't fucking see. Like, I observe them, and then I see that couples doing their own thing and not talking, and then eat, and they go like this again. Being connected is very important, physically and emotionally. But emotionally disconnected happened like way back, and then we physically got disconnected. It's funny because we didn't even have any problem. Just disconnection just happened, right? And I think it goes to a lot of married couple in Korea as well. You know, I mentioned one of my friends, the married guy. He claims that he has a depression, calls me like day and night, and telling me all these stories. I'm not interested. Like, why are you telling me all this? I'm not interested. I have no room, no time to listen to all this emotional problem of yours. And I told him many times, like, you really need to discuss with your wife. And he always says the same thing. Oh, she doesn't like to listen to me. Neither do I. I don't like him. I don't like listening to your problems. But he's quite interesting. He told me, and he's been married for more than 10 years. And it's funny because he has a kind of happy family, but there's a lack of communication all the time. And I mentioned like cheating in old videos. What I heard from married couple is that not having intimacy is not the worst issue between couple. Lack of communication and conversation is the worst problem, and that leads to cheating, because you cheat on your partner not based on the physical attraction to your side chick or side boyfriend, but usually, apparently, it happens when they really talk to you and listen to you at work, usually, because you do a lot of project together. You have to talk, and sometimes you share your private life, and then, oh, this man really listens to me, and there's an attraction, and it leads to cheating. I heard so many times, and they always say that, oh, it's not always physical. And sometimes one of my ex-coworkers told me, sometimes I feel like cheating without physically cheating on my wife, because this coworker and I, we share so much, like each other's problems. And he had this deep connectedness with his coworker, but they would never cross the line physically. But he still feels guilty. There's no funny stuff physically, but they share so much, and they have a really good conversation. Sometimes they have lunch together, like only two of them, because they really want that time. And they each they fill that void, the void that feel at home, but without crossing the line. It's kind of amazing. I wish one of my friends who bothers me, he has that with someone. And I never felt that with any of my foreign girlfriends. They're always a good listener, ask me questions, and whenever I didn't look right to her, she would ask me questions. Willing to listen, willing to ask me questions. Korean girlfriends usually don't consider emotional problem as a serious problem. Tangible problem, money problem is a serious problem, right? Because that affects them as well, right? But I always felt like with Korean girlfriends, my emotional problem was not their problem, but my money problem, it was also their problem. Yeah. Although money matters, let's have that very clearly. I also think money is very important, but money being important doesn't mean that our emotional state ain't important, which is why they always thought my art was side gig, like a hobby. Yeah. Then if I make a lot of money from it, they would, oh, okay, that's your work. but it has nothing to do with it. Like let's say I make like $100 from my artwork, and that fulfills me and it makes me happy. There's nothing else I want to do in this life. That matters more than 10G. But that I cannot explain to my father because his generation was different, right? Because their time, life was so difficult. Being in the same country, same environment, experiencing the same time, I always expected my ex to have that empathy with me. But none of them did. None of them did. Yeah. There are many, I mentioned them, there are many reasons I'm single.
이런 거 다른 것들을 우리가 경험했을 때 이런 유형의 그 외국인 여성들은 정말 좋다라고 느끼는 것 같아요. 자립심 있게 교제를 이어간다 이런 분이 기대가 있는 것 같아요. 어떻게 생각하세요?
David asked me about foreign girls being independent. Okay, how I feel is a little different. But with Korean girls, I often feel like I'm dating a girl rather than a woman. Foreign girls always feel like they're a woman who can take care of me when I need help. Mm-hmm. But Korean girlfriends, I always felt like I use this expression a lot. This expression doesn't really make sense, but I use it a lot still. I feel like physically and emotionally, I feel like Korean girls, they seem like somebody's daughter. But every girl is somebody's daughter. But when I look at foreign women, they're like independent grown-up adult. And I want to date her. Sometimes I want to have her. Sometimes. Not like own it, but I want her. And like I want to get to know her as well. Like I want to have a dinner and talk and learn who she is. But Korean girls are like so sweet, cute, a little thing like somebody's daughter. And I have to take care of them. I have to pay for them. I have to take them home. I have to give them everything. And they are not just like somebody's daughter. They are not interested in my feelings. What I want to do with my life, what makes me happy, even why I like them. They are not interested in my emotions and they don't have this empathy. They have zero interest in intangible things about me. Tangible things, yes. Because somebody's daughter, they always want like a new toy, new candy, new dress. That's how I feel. I learned a new term today from our crew. 잘, 딱, 깔, 센 stands for 알아서, 잘, 딱, 깔끔하고 센스 있게. You do something for your girlfriend without being told, neatly, perfectly, in a very witty manner. It doesn't translate perfectly, but like if I try to translate it, it's something like that. It means that basically they want you to do everything in a customized manner. Like you should learn my taste in things and adjust all the situation and all the elements out there to customize everything for you, for her. The food, a hotel, and all that kind of stuff without them telling me how to. So before they ask me, I gotta find out what they like, what they want, and I have it prepared for them. And also it was mentioned that during our meeting, going on a holiday is a big pressure. I feel that too, because usually boys have to pay for the hotel. That's a lot of money, and you got to pick the right hotel, so she doesn't have a problem. Location, vacation plan, or what to do during the holiday, blah blah blah, and all these restaurant we call it 맛집, like 맛집 research and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of work. Foreign girlfriends, on the other hand, some of them paid for the hotel first.
Really?
Yeah, I was very surprised. Like one time, because I was a student, and she was working. But I had the money to date, but she felt like and also it was quite funny because some of my foreign exes, they would pay for the hotel because they came up with the idea. They say something like, "Oh, you want to go for a hike in like a Gangwon-do? There's a nice mountain. You want to go for like a nice vacation for a day or two?" So okay. There's any? They asked me first, like, is there any specific areas that you want to go, like the mountain you want to hike? No, I'm wherever you want to go. I'm okay. And that weekend, I'm free, and let's talk. And then a few days later, she sent me this receipt, like, "Oh, I booked the room." And I was very surprised because I never experienced that with anybody. And then, as I said, all these nice things makes you want to do something nice to your girlfriend, right? So I paid for every meal during that holiday because I was so grateful. It's okay. Practically, sometimes it is money. It is about money, but sometimes it is not about money. The fact that she booked the hotel, it was a kind of business hotel. It was not very nice. That hotel room, none of my Korean ex would go. But I was happy. Business hotel, clean, nice, and I love the fact that she didn't want to waste money on the fancy room because we wanted to hike. And obviously, we didn't plan to stay in a hotel for very long because we're gonna hike, and we will be obviously tired. So we went on a hike, go for a long walk the next day too, and we were tired. We have a good meal and have a very good night's sleep, right? Because next day we have to come home, blah blah blah. And I don't know, like in general, vacation made more sense in many ways, and I was very grateful. And some of my other foreign exes did the same. Like, "Oh, you want to go somewhere, and can I book a room?" I was like, let's discuss. It's okay. I got this. And because you drive. They say something like, "Oh, thank you for driving all this way." Yeah, it's because driving is not. It's not. Obviously, we talk, so they help me to not get bored, like long hour driving. And they, not only the gas money, but like, "Oh, thank you for driving. It's a lot of work. You should rest." And I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do that for you. It's I feel like it was more overall. It was more reasonable. Like, makes more sense because we are a team, like 50-50. Yeah. Although we men have this kind of instinct to do more things and pay for more things, but I still and I did. I always paid slightly more than my foreign exes, but overall it felt like the whole thing makes more sense because we are partner and we are dating each other. I love the comment I read. I think it was a Francis. She used the expression, "You are dating each other," which is why you should share the bill. I love that comment. I hope she watches this. I think Francis from Holland. Yeah, black lady.
한국 남자들이
네.
여자들이 막 내숭 떨고 아닌 척하고 하는 것들에 좀 질려 있어서 그냥 진솔한 만남을 좀 하고 싶은 것 같아. 정직하고 좀 더 자연스럽고 뭐 그런 것들을 좀 기대하는데 그런 거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하세요? So the question was, because we are tired of playing games and pretending and all that, when we have an opportunity to date foreign girls, we expect honesty and being upfront. From my experience, you can get that from foreign girlfriends. They are very direct. Western girlfriends, at least. Makes a lot of sense. Overall, rational relationship. Yeah, makes sense. Before wrapping up, we want to apologize for not focusing so much on what kind of foreign girls we want to date because we shared so much of our past experience. But what I was not happy about with the Korean girls, that's what we want from foreign girls. And from the comments on my previous videos, I think a lot of foreign girls already have that values, which is great. So I think being who you are will give you a lot of chances with Korean men. I really wanted to say this. Thank you so much for all these comments, especially someone told me that it is very safe to call myself a breast man because with all these terms and wording, I was being a little too careful. I was afraid of being cancelled and attacked with
using the word that means women's breasts. Thank you for your comment. I can safely call myself a breast man. That made me feel very safe, like a warm blanket in Alaska. I need to renew my passport, and the name will be Charwon Jed, the Breast Man League. That's how safe I feel. The term is great, actually. I love that term. I wanted to share this quote from one of the Korean celebrities. It's very nice. You should marry someone makes you feel yourself when you're around. Someone you don't have to pretend around, who lets you be as you are, because pretending never lasts forever. Based on all the comments, I think most of you already are that person. David thought of this quote because it sounds exactly the same. As I said, a lot of people who leave the comments in our channel sound very wise and experienced. And I appreciate that. And I've been learning a lot from the comments. And sometimes I miss to reply. Please remember that I read them all, and I read them more than one time because that's just very nice. There are a lot of things to learn from you. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next episode.